don't want press to put your name next to mine. We're on different nights, so I wanna be nice enough. They don't call my bluff, cause I hate to front. I don't want press to put your name next to mine. We're on different nights, so I wanna be nice enough. They don't call my bluff, cause I hate to front.
What's up, babies? What's good? It's Salty here. For today's tutorial, we are using the palettes Fatally Yours and 420 by Milk Cosmetics. We're creating this really pretty mustardy grunge style glam. Listen, I know I didn't do a great job at making that sound appealing, but this palette is full of yellows, browns, and a darker green, rusty, and it's just a really beautiful palette, so I promise you the end result is stunning. So first things first, I just primed my skin with the Milk Hydro Grip Primer, and then I'm applying Haus Labs Concealer to my brows to give it more of a bleached effect look. My brows are already bleached, but I do have microblading underneath, and you can see that, and I hate that you can see that, so we cover in it, baby. Alright, so the first shade that we're going in with to start is the shade Cyanide, and that one is from the Fatally Yours palette, the collab with Bailey Sarian. And then I'm going to take a little bit of a bigger, dense precision brush, and we're going to buff that out with the shade Wax from the 420 palette. We're just doing this in the outer corner and right above the crease on the inner corner, right below the start of your brow. We're just lightly feathering that on the edges of Cyanide to buffer that out, make it nice and smooth and seamless. And then I just like to do the first couple steps like that and then go to the second eye and do that. I like to keep it pretty even throughout the process. So again, on the inner corner and outer corner, we're going in with Cyanide, but we're not doing the full inner corner, just right below the brow bone, where the bridge of your nose meets your eye. And again, buffing that out with Wax from the 420 palette. I'm trying to go into super detail with this one, you guys, because there's a lot of steps to this one, and I want to make sure that I'm being super precise and detailed for you guys so you know exactly what I'm doing. And what I mean by feather, you want to hold the brush closer to the end so you can really lightly blend that out without pushing the product around too much. Alright, so then we're going in with the shade Full Melt from the 420 palette, and we're adding that into the outer corners right on top of Cyanide. And with this one, we're using an angled placement brush to make kind of like a triangle on that outer corner. If you make a map of a triangle and then just feather it out to blend it lightly, it works really well that way. If you take where you made that triangle and blend it towards your temples, that's going to pull the product outward to give you that nice facelift effect, baby. We're also stamping the product on with this one. We're stamping it and then we'll blend afterward with the remaining product. So we stamp, 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 blend, blend, blend. Alright, so I didn't feel like Full Melt was as pigmented as I wanted it to be. I wanted more of a brick red kind of tone, so we're going to take the shade Thallium from the Fatally Yours palette and put that right on top of Full Melt to give it a lot more pigment and more of that orangey brick tone that I was desiring. Exact same brush, exact same stamping method. Feather it outward towards the temple when you're done. After I've done the blending, I want to take whatever's remaining on my brush. I tilt it sideways and just drag it from the center of my lid over towards Thallium, if that makes sense. That way there's no harsh line. It's a full, clean, soft blend from the lid to the pigment. Now, with a pencil brush, we're taking the shade Mercury, which is a chocolatey brown shade from the Fatally Yours palette, and we're just placing that in the inner corner, just underneath Thallium, and right on the crease, and creating kind of like a C shape on the outer corner to create that depth. The smaller the brush gets, the more precise the area that's being covered, the more you can see each and every shade that we're applying here. Look at that gorgeous C shape that we're creating on that outer corner. That way we can see every shade. And again, once you've got very little product remaining on that brush, just use it to kind of blend it outward towards the temple. Give yourself that very lifted effect. I told y'all there was a lot of steps to this one. Are you keeping up? Keep up, baby. I don't do a lot of looks very often that requires so many steps because I'm really impatient, but we'll do them sometimes. As you can see, after all of that blending, I felt like it was again too light, so I'm going back in with another layer of Thallium right outside of the Mercury shade that we had just put on there so we can keep its placement as it was but we're just making it a little more pigmented, and we're doing the same thing with each and every shade that we have. Just applying a little bit more very lightly, keep it very pigmented as we go. All right, time for some fun, babies. We're getting into some color. We got Shotgun. This is the name of the shade. It's called Shotgun. It's more of a, I don't even know how to explain it. It's a yellow, but it's got a nice green tint to it, so it's not a very flattering yellow for some. I do believe that this is the culprit. This is the shade that is going to turn some people away, but to others, they're going to really like it. Anyways, we're applying that into the center of the lid, and then right on top of that, we're taking the, what is it called? The Hocus Pocus 2 palette by ColourPop. This shade is Cursed, and it's kind of like a nice neon green, but it's got shimmer to it. It's got just enough pigment in it to change that center into this bright green yellow type of vibe. But because it has shimmer in it, it definitely makes it pop. And then I'm just taking a blending brush and blending them all together, marry all those 3 shades together right there. And then I'm taking the shade Thallium with the same brush we've been using for Thallium, and I'm just applying a little bit to the edges of Mercury to give it a nice transition from the center shade to Thallium to Mercury. And again, just blending those all 3 together. This is where the most steps come in. It's all about reapplying, blending, making it exactly how you want it and giving it a nice, beautiful, soft transition. Now that we've blended Thallium into Mercury, Mercury has lightened up a little bit, so we're going to go back in with Mercury with the same pencil brush, give it some more pigment, baby, because I really want that outer and inner corners to stand out with the depth and the pigment, the darkness. That definitely took the most time in the whole entire look. That was the most time you were going to take. Now we're going into Melt Cosmetics Kaleidoscope Glitter. This is a body glitter, and I'm just adding that to the center as well. I really want that center to pop. This is a halo eye. We want it as halo as possible. This is actually my first time ever using the body glitter, and I really like it. All right, now we're going to set everything. I'm using the NYX Bear With Me setting spray. We want absolutely none of that eyeshadow to move. I've applied some concealer in my under eye, brighten that up, cover up my bags, and then that makes it also a base, so we can now repeat the same shades on the under eye. I also set that with the Huda Beauty Peach Pie Powder. With the under eye, I started out the opposite direction. With the top of the lid, we started out lightest to darkest. On the under eyes, I start out darkest to lightest. So I started out with Mercury with the pencil brush, and then underneath that we go Thallium, and then below that we go Wax. And then we just blend, baby. There's a lot of blending in this look. If you end up with carpal tunnel, I'm sorry, baby. No, I'm just kidding. I don't take responsibility for that, not at all. I'm not gonna lie though, I don't know how some girlies do these kinds of looks every day. I just don't have the patience. It's fun every once in a while, but I would start to feel like I'm regretful after so long, and I did with this one. This one took quite a while. It's totally worth it though. Like, as a makeup lover, as a makeup artist, it's so worth it. It's gorgeous. For the inner corner, I'm using the exact same shades I did for the center. I'm using Shotgun and then Cursed from the Hocus Pocus 2 palette, and then that's it. I do use my fingers to apply shimmer shades more often than not. It definitely makes them stand out more, makes the shimmer really stick out. And then, as per usual, my favorite mascara is Rubber Lash by Eyeshadow Beauty. I absolutely love this mascara. It's very lightweight, goes on very clean, very sleek, and does not clump and gives you so much length. I just really love it. Of course, my favorite lash, 88 Stunna, bitch. 88 Stunna by MAC Cosmetics. It's definitely time to replace them and get a new set because there's a lot of glue on these ones. I pulled as much off as I could, but it was still giving me a bit of a hard time. We were not friends today, but we got it. Just a little blood, sweat, and tears, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Also, kudos to the girlies that not only do these kinds of looks every day, because bless your souls, but also the ones that apply their lashes with their fingers. Couldn't be me. Could not be me, bitch. Last but not least, we're taking the Eyeshadow Beauty Industrial Palette in the shade Motor and putting it right on the brow bone. This is just a pigment that's supposed to make it look wet. That essentially just gives it a nice highlight. Here is the final look. I hope you guys love it. If you want to see a specific look, let me know. Until next time, bye.
Wanna be nice enough, they don't call my bluff, cause I hate to front. I I don't want press to put your name next to mine. Well, I'm different, I'm so I wanna be nice enough they don't call my bluff, cause I hate to find articles